Welcome to the Synth Health video series. These videos are designed to help you get the most out of our platform. This video will provide an overview of how to use the system from start to finish. In under 10 minutes, you'll learn how simple it is to generate and load synthetic data into an Apple Xcode simulator for testing. Before we jump in, let's review what synthetic data is. We have a page dedicated to this topic shown here. But simply put, synthetic data is artificially created or generated data based on real-world models. Our system uses sophisticated modeling techniques to generate realistic data containing variability and outliers so that the data looks natural and as close to real-world data as possible. Today's video will demonstrate how to use the system from start to finish. We have an infographic on the site that illustrates what this video covers. We're going to focus on three basic concepts: selecting a health profile, generating a synthetic data run, and finally, loading that data onto an Xcode simulator. We'll describe at a high level what health profiles are and how they are used to generate synthetic data. And then we'll actually download, build, and use the Data Loader app to get that data onto your system for further testing. I'm going to log into the system using a demo account to show you how easy it is to generate your first synthetic data set using a system health profile. Once logged in, you are taken to a dashboard where all the information you need to manage your account is easily accessible. We're going to focus first on getting a new dataset generated. To do that, select the Data Configuration and Generation Results menu item. Next, we're going to create a new data configuration. As you can see from the input screen, it isn't too complicated to configure a new synthetic data generation run. The first item on the screen is the health profile. Today we'll select a predefined health profile for John Doe. John is a middle-aged man with prediabetes and a history of high blood pressure. The system allows users to configure custom health profiles, and that is a dedicated topic in another video in this series. For now, it's important to understand that health profiles drive the modeling behavior of the synthetic data generation process. They represent key health attributes like age, gender, fitness level, and activity level. Next, provide a description of the data run. This will be important so that you can identify this run when selecting it to load into a test device or an Xcode simulator. Finally, the last two fields determine how much data to generate and the date range of the run. For the purpose of this demo, we'll keep the data generation size pretty small. We'll generate a week's worth of data. By leaving the start date field empty, the system will calculate the start date based on the number of days input in the previous field. After creating the data run, the configuration is still in an editing status, allowing you to continue to tweak the configuration prior to actually generating the data. The lightning bolt icon will start the synthetic data generation process. Since we're going to use a system profile and do not need to continue configuring the run, we're going to go ahead and kick off the generation process now. The system will start generating the data in the background. This page will update as the process finishes. As you can see, the process is now complete and the run shows the number of records generated and the size of the data run. But for now, let's move back to the dashboard. The dashboard now shows that we have one data run ready for use. Now that the synthetic data run has been generated, we'll start the process of getting it loaded into the Xcode simulator. First, you'll need to get your client credentials. This information is conveniently located on the dashboard so that everyone on your team knows the credentials required to access data runs and load them onto test devices or simulators. Note the password shown here isn't the real password for the demo credentials. It's intended only to show you how the system allows you to see your actual password when you're logged into your own account. Next, we'll download the project from GitHub and build it with Xcode. You can access the location on GitHub by clicking the link shown here. You can choose how to access the code from GitHub, but today we'll simply download the code and run it from within Xcode. As you can see, the project is freshly loaded to the download directory on my system. Let's open that in Xcode and rearrange the desktop so that we can run the code in the simulator. The code in the project file is pretty straightforward. It's a Swift UI app that contains the Synth Health data framework. Using the framework is as easy as calling the main view method from within the app. Let's bring up a freshly erased Xcode simulator. You can see that the Data Loader app has not been installed on this simulator. In addition, there is no data preloaded into Apple Health. Let's select the simulator and build the app. Next, we're going to use the credentials we retrieved from the dashboard and log in on the simulator. After logging in, the Data Loader app provides a menu of items you can choose from. For this video, we'll focus on loading synthetic data from the platform. Other videos in the series will demonstrate the other items in this menu. Notice the generated data set entitled Demo Run is shown next. After selecting it, the app shows the different types of synthetic health data generated by the system. This screen allows you to review the generated data and select some or all of the data to load. It allows you to delete previous runs of data before loading the new run, but since this is a fresh simulator, we'll simply load the data. After authorization in Apple Health, the data loader will just continue to load the data. Once complete, the data loader will show a summary of the data loaded. You can see that the system successfully loaded all 241 records of the generated synthetic data. Next, let's open up Apple Health and have a look at the data that was generated. Here you can see a variety of data has been loaded that is related to activity within Apple Health, as well as nutrition information was also loaded. In addition, since John Doe is a pre-diabetic and suffers from high blood pressure, some home testing results are also generated. The real power of our platform is how correlated the data is. Let's focus on two items, heart rate and workouts. Notice first that the heart rate data looks natural. It contains variation and outliers. It also follows the daily activity level of John Doe. Notice here that his heart rate spikes. This data is correlated to the workout event that was generated over the same time frame. As you can see, the system generates very realistic health data. It's highly correlated between different samples. It includes variation and outliers. But to learn more about the strength and sophistication of our health models, please visit our website page dedicated to the topic. This page discusses how our platform achieves realistic results in the synthetic generation process. It discusses the topic of sample correlation as well as variability in generated samples for workouts, sleep, nutrition, heart rate, as well as some home test results for glucose testing and blood pressure testing. Thank you for watching our system overview video. Please look for other videos in the series, and we hope it provides the kickstart needed to get the most out of our synthetic health data platform. Thanks again.